What's up YouTube, I'm Mike, and today I'm back with some late breaking scientific news. For those of you who've been following my channel closely, you'll know that I temporarily paused the administration of the Trenbolone during my latest health scare. I have put back in almost every compound to date. I'm still not on Proviron, I'm still not on, I still wasn't on Trenbolone. The biggest reason that I have not been using the Trenbolone is purely because I have been enjoying the much better sleep that I've been getting for this period of time since the Trenbolone washed out of my system. Man, I've been sleeping so much better at night. And so I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just stay off for a little while and I'll try to enjoy some of this sleep. Then I noticed that I was starting to lose the Tren aesthetic. If you look at my shoulders, you can see this shoulder bone right here. And on Tren, I feel like my shoulders protrude more. They're more capped and they actually hide that bone. I don't like seeing that bone at all. And so I swear that the Tren leaving my system, it changes the shape of my shoulders. I noticed that last night in the gym when I was shooting that posing video. And then as fate would have it, I woke up this morning to the study that we're going to be talking about today. So the conventional science is that obviously getting deep recuperative sleep at night allows the brain to flush out toxins. And this is one of the reasons that all the bros will tell you the Trenbolone is neurotoxic. Derek talked about this. There is no scientific data that shows that Trenbolone is directly neurotoxic. But some people, you know, jump to the conclusion that because it hammers your sleep, then it could be neurotoxic in the way that it would allow for beta amyloid plaque buildup, or it would prevent the brain from going through the medically accepted, scientifically accepted process of clearing toxins while we rest. And so today I'm going to be reading from a study titled, "Sleep Does Not Help Brain Wash Out Toxins, Study Says." Boy, I can tell you there's going to be some Tren haters in the comments getting all over this shit. So this is the part in the video where if you want to read along, you need to click the link. I will put the link in the description. I'm going to read the study to you. I'm going to narrate it to you. I'm not going to go to all the trouble of putting it on the screen and shrinking my face off into the corner. Fuck that. You guys want to read the study, read it for yourself. I'll link it below. Or you can listen to me narrate it while you're running on the treadmill or driving home, because a lot of people listen that way and they can't read their fucking screen anyway. So there's no reason for me to do all this extra post-processing when most people are probably just listening as they engage in something else to begin with. You'll always be that one asshole to be like, why didn't you put it on the screen so it'd be easier to follow along? Why don't you get a fucking desktop computer with 3 screens? Why not that? I have that. Get a fucking real computer set up, put me on one screen and the study on the other, and fucking pay attention. You know, do that instead. So, here we go. I'm going to be reading directly from the study, and I'm probably going to read the study in its entirety. The study says, the restorative effect of a good night's rest is widely recognized, and the popular scientific explanation has been that the brain washes out toxins during sleep. However, new findings suggest this theory, which has become a dominant view in neuroscience, could be wrong. The study found that the clearance and movement of fluid in the brains of mice was in fact markedly reduced during sleep and anesthesia. It sounded like a Nobel Prize winning idea, said Professor Nick Franks, a professor of biophysics and anesthetics at Imperial College London and co-lead of the study. If you are sleep deprived, countless things go wrong. You don't remember things clearly. Hand-eye coordination is poor, he added. The idea that your brain is doing the basic housekeeping during sleep just seems to make sense. So there's definitively negative effects from having a cumulative loss of sleep. You know, the more tired, the more sleep you miss. We all know we don't feel good. So there's definitely deleterious effects of missing sleep. But they kind of just jump to the conclusion like, well, maybe that's because the brain is doing housekeeping while we're at rest. However, there was only indirect evidence that the brain's waste removal system ramps up during sleep, Franks said. In the latest study published in the Journal of Nature Neuroscience, researchers used fluorescent dye to study the brains of mice. This allowed them to see how quickly the dye moved from fluid-filled cavities called the ventricles to other brain regions and enabled them to measure the rate of clearance of the dye from the brain directly. The study showed that the clearance of the dye was reduced by about 30% in sleeping mice and 50% in mice that were under anesthetic, compared with mice that were kept awake. The field has been so focused on the clearance idea as one of the key reasons why we sleep, we were of course very surprised to observe the opposite in our results, said Franks. We found that the rate of clearance of dye from the brain was significantly reduced in animals that were asleep or under anesthetic. The researchers predict that the findings will extend to humans as sleep is a core need shared by all mammals. Professor Bill Wisden, the interim director of the UK Dementia Research Institute at Imperial College London and co-lead author, said, quote, "There are many theories as to why we sleep. And although we have shown that clearing toxins may not be a key reason, it cannot be disputed that sleep is important." Obviously sleep is very important. For me, if I miss a lot of sleep, I start getting fucking paranoid as shit. Now, I have made the argument in the past that the paranoia is not caused by the lack of sleep. It's caused by the fact that my brain seems to upregulate pattern-seeking behavior, and I start to view the world as if I'm trapped in a fucking video game, and I start to seem to be able to notice that everybody else seems to be running on a loop. I'm not entirely convinced that you people who are listening to me are real. I'm rapidly beginning to believe that I am the only sentient being on this planet, that I'm actually existing in a video game, and all of you people are non-player characters just designed to set the stage and create the realism for me. Maybe I haven't been sleeping enough. Actually, I've been sleeping a lot, so see, I guess that goes to back up the study. The findings have relevance for dementia research due to the increasing evidence of a link between poor sleep and Alzheimer's risk. It has not been clear whether lack of sleep might cause Alzheimer's or whether it is simply an early symptom. Some had hypothesized that without enough sleep, the brain might not be able to clear toxins effectively, but the latest research raises doubts about the plausibility of this explanation. Because that idea has held such sway, it's probably increased people's anxiety that if they don't sleep, they'll be more likely to develop dementia, said Franks. Wisden said disrupted sleep is a common symptom experienced by people living with dementia. However, we still don't know if this is a consequence or a driving factor in the disease progression. It may well be that having good sleep does help to reduce dementia risks for reasons other than clearing toxins. He added, the other side to our story is that we have shown that brain clearance is highly efficient during the waking state. In general, being awake and active and exercising may more efficiently clean the brain of toxins. So there you have it. Not only did they find that sleep and/or anesthesia does not speed up the clearance of toxins in the brain, it actually slows it down. There was a 30% reduction in clearance in the sleeping patients and a 50% reduction in clearance in the anesthesia, the patients that had been put under anesthetic. So there was no evidence to suggest that sleep actually clears toxins from the brain. What they actually ended up arguing at the end of the article is that the most efficient way to clear toxins from your brain is to be awake and working out. I love when the science comes along to refute the fucking bullshit. So as you may have guessed, what I did first thing this morning after reading this study is that I recognized that the gods had spoken to me. I had been sitting around saying I'm not going to take the tren because I'm going to enjoy this extra deep sleep. Although the extra deep sleep didn't seem to really, you know, I mean, I slept better, but like, it's not like I just was like, oh my God, I feel like a brand new man on all this sleep. Nothing really changed. And this morning when I read this study, I pinned 25 milligrams of tren. So the tren is back on deck. I'm gonna start at 50 milligrams a week, just to test. I was taking 100 milligrams a week before. I actually really enjoy the come up on tren. I doubt that I'll get much of a come up on the 50 milligram dose, but we're gonna see. So I'm gonna pin 50 milligrams a week. The goal, although I probably will fail, but the goal is to pin 50 milligrams of tren a week for at least a month. Let the come up effects completely subside. Get good and stable on 50 milligrams. See what my sleep looks like. See what my aesthetic looks like. See what my gym performance looks like. And then maybe, depending on factors, I may stay at 50 or go back up to 100. Where I stopped, I was at 125. And admittedly, again, I'm going to make an entire video. I don't want to get too far into the woods on this, into the weeds on this, because I want to save that for a video. I have been paying very close attention to the way that I have felt since coming off the tren. After being on, I can't remember if I said this in the beginning of the video because this is my second cut. I had a phone call in the middle of my previous cut. I have been on tren for almost an entire year. I think it's like 10 or 11 months now where I have been taking tren at a minimum of 100 milligrams a week. 100 milligrams a week minimum for like the last 11 months. So for the past, I don't know how, 4 to 6 weeks that I've not been taking the tren, I have noticed some acute differences in my personality, my views in the world. And so I'm going to make an entire video talking about what it was like coming off of tren after such a long period of time. And you know, a relatively, not a high dose, but I think 100 milligrams of tren for a year straight is good healthy dose for that duration at least. So I've got a video coming up. I may shoot that video tonight. I also have a video coming up. I'm going to go over, I've been taking the GHRP6 a little bit more, and my feelings on that have changed some. So I'm going to do a review video on GHRP6, and then I'll make a video talking about what it feels like coming off tren. But rest assured, as of this study today, the tren is back in the system. So again, you know, all of these things that people, you know, regurgitate in the community, all of the attempts at attacking the God particle, the forbidden fruit, the grandfather of all steroids, tren is just like he's like Superman. You know, tren makes you Superman. And trenbolone itself is Superman. It just like ducks bullets. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to duck them. The tren is so strong that it's just like Superman. The bullets just bounce off. You know, everybody's constantly attacking tren, putting tren down, making fun of tren, saying tren's not good at doing everything. Tren's the reason your relationships suck. Tren gets blamed for every fucking thing, and dude just sits there like, fuck you, you're not fucking with me. You blame me for all the shit, blame me for all the shit you want. I'm impenetrable. I'm resistant to your critiques. I'm resistant to your hate because I am the fucking God particle. So I am super excited to have that flowing through my veins again. I can't wait to actually start to feel it. Hopefully I'll get the rest of my shoulders back that I think disappeared, and we'll see what the physique will start to look like. I was up to 196 pounds last night, so I'm starting to refill up my tissues. I'm feeling like my chest is looking pretty decent. My gym performance is coming back. My strength is in the fucking shitter, but that's to be expected. You know, strength always goes in the crack. You know, when you don't lift for weeks on end, you always lose strength. So nothing too surprising there. So there you have it. I'm gonna keep this one short. I just wanted to share that study with you. I'm probably gonna spend 14 times as much time in the comments arguing with idiots as I did in reading the actual study. Obviously, I'm not, let me just disclaim this video, I'm not arguing that not sleeping is a good idea. Obviously, I mean, just purely anecdotally, I feel like absolute shit if I don't get enough sleep. Now, admittedly, if I don't get enough sleep because of tren, I feel decidedly better than if I don't get enough sleep without the tren in my system. But tren does seem to have some protective effects in that way. But obviously, getting healthy sleep is important for far more, substantially more things than just clearing brain toxins. So even if we're able to definitively prove that the vast majority of the toxin clearing takes place during the day, we all know, I mean, unless a study is going to come out and tell us otherwise, so far the conventional knowledge is that the vast majority of your growth takes place while you are sleeping. Obviously, there are a myriad of things that a good, healthy sleep cycle is going to do for you. So please don't misunderstand while I'm making fun of this study or while I'm poking fun at all the tren haters. I just think it's funny anytime that I find a study that redeems the trenbolone again. It just seems to keep happening. So, as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.